Yes, people. What's going on? It's Egal Talks Football. We're back again with another video. I got a wonderful, wonderful panelist for you guys today. I got my boy Dan Potts in the building, and of course, you guys already know we did the Arsenal roundup yesterday. We did we did another Arsenal show last night, and it's just been Arsenal show after Arsenal show. Who would have thought that Eberechi Eze, an Arsenal former academy guy, would then turn down Tottenham to join Arsenal? Kind of sounds like it was destined, right? It all worked out, right? Dan, how you feeling?
Beautiful. Oh, it's been a beautiful 24 hours, bro. It really has. It's been a strange 24 hours because it didn't start too well, but we're going to get into it. And we're going to get into reasons why. Big up for having me on, bro. Big up to you for coming on the show for the last couple of nights as well and holding your own. And do you know what was with you? What was the best was? It was literally a full 360, yeah? Because the first night it was like, you said Eze was coming and, you made that clip with Staffy. And then it's like, I'm going to play it again then now because I can play it again and you come out on a good thing. So it just shows sometimes how quickly football can change and how quickly emotions can change. And I think that we as fans, right, and I'm definitely guilty of this, and I think you probably are the other side as well, is you can overdo the happiness, you can overdo the sadness, and you just know that you've got to try to remain as balanced as you can because football can be a funny game, man. It can change really quickly, bro.
110%. I feel like it changes on a dime all the time. But before we go any further, we're going to talk about the Eze topic, but I just want to talk to you about something. I'm always calling you saying, Dan, it's not that serious. Calm down. Dan, we don't have to stress out. Dan, it's not the end of the world. Dan, we're going to figure it out. Calm down. It's not. I'm always the guy who's telling you it's not as bad as things seem, right? And if I'm not mistaken, I swear I called you after the Eze news a couple days ago. Did I not?
Yeah.
And I was like, we're going to figure something out. The window's not over. We're going to make sales. We're going to find a way. And even if it means we maybe go for Rodrygo or if we go for somebody else, we'll figure it out. It's just, I do not believe that the window is over. And I don't think Kai Havertz's injury was the only catalyst that led to this transfer. This transfer was in the work for a long time, Dan. Me and you both know this.
Facts. I was texted by Albert. Big up to Albert. He was on with us last night. He said to me that he's seen a Telegraph post that said that we had this plan since the 10th of August. And this was always in the pipeline. And it was not a reaction to Havertz getting injured, which makes sense, right? Because Kai Havertz doesn't play in the same position as Eze. I know that Lee was trying to say that last night. I disagree with that. I think Kai Havertz is a backup 9. And I think that Eze will play in the 10, 8 or the left wing. I think that he's a guy that can play in a number of positions. So I don't see there could be comparisons between the two. I personally feel like the Havertz injury, that's now going to be potentially a question mark or if we do something further. Eze, for me, was always going to be happening because if you've planned this since the 9th, 10th of August, then that's got nothing to do with injuries. That's all about trying to improve your squad. And I said, right, Mr. Iguano, I'll sort that out if that's the case, bro. But look, I'm in a situation where I believe that Eze has always wanted Arsenal. Like, I don't ever think that there would be a scenario where he rejected Arsenal for Spurs. And I know Spurs were getting cocky about it, saying that was the case. You cannot tell me that if Arsenal and Spurs are going in for a player and he picks Spurs, that he's rejected Arsenal. It's clearly that Arsenal weren't interested or have pulled out of the deal. So when it looked like he was going Tottenham, I was frustrated because I just assumed it was we've pulled out of the deal. It doesn't look like that was the case. It looks like both clubs were interested in him. We kept it a hell of a lot quiet. Levy was dilly-dallying and Berta swooped in and we've got our guy, man. So I'm buzzing, bro. I'm buzzing.
Shout out Martin. He was one of the first people.
100%. Marty. Big up to Marty, man, because Marty deserves an apology.
Marty. He was one of the first people who said it on AFTV. He said, I've heard. And then he said, I've heard he wants to go to, where is it? He's pushing, and Arsenal, of course, are going to go in, and it's going to be basically a couple of people told him this, and he's like, he knows a couple of people that work at clubs, and one of the people he knows at a club is, of course, Crystal Palace. So reports that Marty was saying this is going to get done a long time ago, and it just makes this so much better. And everything about this whole transfer window has been Arsenal don't seem like they know what they're doing. Arsenal don't seem like they know what they're doing with Gyökeres. They get it done. Arsenal don't seem like they know what they're doing with because they signed Madueke. We now get Eze. Dan, I'm just going to simply put this in the nicest way possible to everyone. Should we now kind of keep our powder dry and not get over mad? Because I seen people saying just a couple of days ago that Saliba and Saka shouldn't sign new contracts because this club is a joke because they gave Trossard a new deal.
Look, I tell you what we should do. It's something that's very hard to do, right? It's something that's very, very difficult to do. And that's allow for the window to shut before you start to lose your head. I think that's what we need to do. And I think, I'm honest with you, I think that's what we've always needed to do, right? I've been guilty of going too early on that, not just in this window, but in previous windows. I think what happens, Egal, right? This is serious. This is me trying to talk seriously with a level head here. I think people go on past experiences, and there's so much PTSD of the past with the older regimes, with the Edus, with Raul Sanlehis, with Husfamis, with Arsene Wenger days, Gazidis days. I think that we've been treated like crap as a fan base over the last 2 decades. I truly believe that. I think we've been the most patient fans in the Premier League. And I think it's time to ask for it now. I think it's time to deliver now. And when I don't see the ambition of the club matching what I want, I think that's where the frustration lies. So, for example, when we go through to January and we're still in all competitions, we're looking like we're in a semi-final of the Champions League and the Carabao Cup, and we're going to play Marino up top, I get angry because that's not showing the ambition to go and get over the line what we need. So I think what we need to do is potentially calm down a little bit. Maybe we are a little bit over the top with it and head loss in certain reactions. I think to say now this window is a disgrace and it's disgusting and rah might be a little bit over the top because one, it's not over yet, and two, we have brought in Zubimendi and Gyökeres and Eze now. So I don't think it's a disgrace. I don't think it's a shambles. You know, like I love Lee, and most of the time me and Lee are reliant, but the window isn't a 5 out of 10. Like I love Lee, but it's not a 5 out of 10 now. You know, Eze coming in, I understand there needs to be more done. I understand the players need to be sold, and I understand that potentially we're lacking in 1 or 2 positions still that people might look at. But right now, you can't give it lower than a 7 out of 10 when you're bringing in Eze, Gyökeres, and Zubimendi to your first team. Like that, they are all going to start. Like Zubimendi for me is going to start every game. Gyökeres is our striker, and at the moment, I think Eze is probably going to be our left winger. Although people say he's not really great there, I think he's better than what we've got there. If I'm honest, I don't think he is the left winger in the next 5 years, but I certainly do see him as our number 10, attacking 8 or left winger option that we're going to come in and give us something different. So, yeah, I think sometimes fans do go over the top, but we're emotional, bro. I think some fans might be the other way now. You might look at the fan base now, right? I'll give you 2 examples. Some of the fans will be going, well, that still ain't enough. We ain't going to win nothing. It's all for windows.
No, I don't think anyone's saying that.
Okay, but there will be some, like Lee, maybe, and a couple of others. There'll also be others that are like, well, Arsenal are going to go do the treble now because you signed Eze. Both of them are like, whoa, they're like extreme.
I don't think,
you know what I mean?
Okay, I hear that. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to now say Arsenal signed Eze. They now have that left-hand side sorted.
That's cool.
You could say maybe he doesn't play in the left. Maybe he plays left 10. Maybe he plays, Maybe he plays in the central midfield. Maybe he plays as a left winger. Wherever he plays, he solves our issues in the transition with the ineffectiveness that we have in transition, the inability to drive with the ball when we have the ball in transition, the inability to find holes from the left-hand side, inability to find the striker that we just recently signed in Gyökeres. Then systematically, this solves so many problems for us. And the Eze deal is, I think this is the biggest transfer we have done since Ozil. Not based on the player quality and the name of the player or the signing. You could say Aubameyang was a big signing, but to take this man from Spurs' hand last minute and to turn it around the way that we have and to get the deal done, Premier League proven, walking into the building immediately one of the best in the league outside of the top 6. When it comes to sheer excitement and like just the dopamine, every Arsenal fan today I know was smiling ear to ear at work, walking down the street, going taking the bus. You're stuck in traffic, you're still smiling because you know Eberechi Eze is going to be an Arsenal player. And I think people think I'm joking when I say this. I genuinely was smiling ear to ear all day.
Same,
and you probably were too.
How can we not be? We're Arsenal fans, bro. How can we not be smiling day to day?
This is the kind of signing that makes Saka, Saliba say, I'm signing the deal today. Get it sorted. I'm signing the deal today.
The only thing I would say that I disagree with, or I'll agree with everything you've said in terms of how happy people are and smiling. I think for me, Rodrygo would be the Ozil Sanchez signing. I think Eze is an extremely good signing. I think I can't compare it to one previously. I think it's close to being that good. I think he's exceptional talent. I wanted him. He was the one that I did want. A lot of people know I was devastated when it looked like he was going to Tottenham, right? So I do want that. What I won't deny is that this is improved and allow people around them to go, right, this is serious. And I think people have also underappreciated how much he's going to fit in. Like, I know Okay, there's a couple of things, right? How well he's going to fit in. He knows Rice, he knows Saka, he knows White, he knows
Saka
these
and
guys,
him are
right?
friends.
Saka and him are very close, right? From what I believe, Madueke is close with him as well. I think also what it does on Madueke is it proves, certainly to me, anyway, I don't know if everyone else agrees with this, it proves that Madueke was not being brought in as the starter. Madueke was being brought in as the squad player. People have overlooked that. They're not speaking about that now because
Bro,
maybe
you did that. You yourself have
I
been
thought this
quite
was it.
upset about that.
Very, because I thought, and I know you were upset with the Madueke signing, but you weren't as far as me. But the reason I was, bro, is because I thought he was a replacement and a player brought in instead of an Eze or a Rodrygo or wherever it be. So I was like, I can't have this guy starting left wing. Luckily for me, it looks like he's a squad player. Like with me, I never bothered about the money. The money wasn't an issue to me. I'm not an accountant. I don't care how much we spend on players. What I do care is if that money has been spent incorrectly. So there's a difference, right? If, for example, Gyökeres, I wanted Gyökeres. I wouldn't have cared if we would have spent 90 million on Gyökeres. So I think that's the guy, right? What I do care about is like, we've only really got 50 million for one of these players. It's going to be Eze, Madueke or Kudus. And we've got Madueke over those three. I'm like, no, that ain't good for me. Now it's not that. I'm calm. It's good because it's better than Nelson and Sterling. Madueke is, in my opinion, anyway.
Hey,
That's a good
do
thing, man.
you remember the video we did with Troops a couple months ago? And I said we need 3 level raisers, and Lee was like, level raisers. You're not getting level raisers. I'm like, I think we now can say comfortably we've gotten 3 level raisers in Eze, Gyökeres, and Zubimendi.
Yeah, I need to see more of Zubimendi, but I like what I've seen. Eze and Gyökeres, no doubt. Rodrygo is the dream for me, though. That is the absolute dream. I don't know if we're going to touch on that later, but that's the marquee one for me. Because I know you said Eze and Ozil. For me, I would look at Rodrygo and I would go, wow, this is scary. Like, no excuses, Arsenal. Trophies galore now. That's the one for me.
Hypothetically, we need to get sales, though, because we've done all these businesses up until this point. We would need to sell some players. Martinelli being linked to Saudi can't be true. I don't believe Saudi Arabian club would come in for Martinelli for the price of 80 million. It's just illogical. I think Indicala is pulling our leg here when he posts stuff like that.
How reliable is he?
He's not that reliable.
Okay.
From what I know, he does spread a lot of lies just to get traction.
Because I see 2 tweets from him yesterday that were one after another of a period of a couple of hours. One of them said that the Rodrygo agent is flying to London to speak to Liverpool and Arsenal. And then a few hours later, Martinelli was linked to a Saudi for 80 million, the same source. So I was like, is there something in that? I don't know.
Do you really believe Rodrygo is still a possibility?
Yes, because he's not wanted by Real Madrid, clearly. Whether he wants to stay or not, Real Madrid don't rate him. They're not playing him. So as much as I think Rodrygo is a possibility for Arsenal, I also think he's a possibility for Man City and Liverpool as well. So I think it's going to depend on where he wants to go. And I know where you're at with this, and I know you disagree with me. If I'm Rodrygo and I'm not an Arsenal fan, I'm looking at where I'm likely to win trophies. I'm going to go to Man City or Liverpool ahead of Arsenal just because the evidence is there that they can get across the line. But I'd love for us to sell him the dream, and I'd love for Berta to say, come here and be the missing piece that we need to win us trophies.
I spoke to my boy Kiko, and he was telling me, act like a serious club. Big clubs will go and get Rodrygo. Would be serious, and it would show cojones. Right, it would be the right move. A club coming in for him where he would go straight into his preferred position, and of course, you also have to put the money on the table. So it's unlikely. I think Arsenal will actually put the money on the table. I think it would be a loan. Who's the best fit for Rodrygo right now? I think it's actually Liverpool. As for Manchester City, I don't think Man City will actually get him unless they sell Savio to Spurs. So if Savio goes to Spurs, if Eze coming to Arsenal means Savio goes to Spurs and Rodrygo goes to Manchester City, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't mind Rodrygo going to Man City because I feel like that's the lesser of the evils than him going to Liverpool. If he was to join this Liverpool team right now, I think that would be more dangerous because Liverpool could potentially have a front three of Isak, Rodrygo, and Salah, where Rodrygo going into that City front three, however it is, it's not as scary as the possibility of what Liverpool could have had.
Look, I think Arsenal should do all they can to bring in a player of the ilk of Rodrygo. So when I look at it right now, Manchester City have made good signings. I think Ryan Cherky's a good player. I think Reinders is ridiculously good. And I think Aït-Nouri, I'm not sure defensively, but certainly is a very good player going forward, right? And they're looking at more. Liverpool, we all know the signings they've made. Florian Wirtz, I know he's had a bad start, but so's Gyökeres. You know what I mean? I haven't heard as much hate on sort of Wirtz as I had Gyökeres. However, we know Florian Wirtz is a baller, okay? If they sign Isak as well, it's been incredible alongside Ekatike and the two fullbacks, etc. they've got in. Guehi as well. Arsenal, a lot of people are saying good window, not world class, but could get there. Rodrygo and Eze would make the rivals of City, Liverpool, and whoever else wants to be in this conversation step back and go, shit, that's a seriously good window.
No, but then we're doing this again. We're doing this thing where once we get something, we want more. And I get that. But at this moment in time, Eberechi Eze coming in, I think is something that teams look at the Arsenal's potential 11, and I'll put it on the screen right now, and they say to themselves, this is one of the best 11s in the league. But let's quickly go to this comment. Shout out to you, Farhan Farah, one of my Somali brothers, I think, right there.
Big up, bro.
Name. Definitely one of my Somali brothers right there. He says, we have to sell before we buy. That was super BS, and I still believe we can spend more money before we sell. Talk as we have over 300 million to spend.
I agree.
Kieran Maguire said it to FK. Arsenal
everybody has been saying it. Arsenal don't have to worry about PSR or FFP. That's what I keep being told.
The only thing we have to worry about is we're close on the European side, the UEFA rulings. We're close on that side, but that has more to do with wages, wage caps, I think. I don't know. You know how you can't increase your wages over 3 years by too much? That's what it is.
Yeah.
So I think
for me, there's literally 3 things left for Berta to do this window, and I don't think we have to worry too much about the PSR. But I could be wrong.
He's absolutely cooked.
He has, but there's the 3 things left for him to do. Whether he does them or not is he's still done well. The first thing is get Saka and Saliba tied down to new contracts, which apparently are close. The other thing he needs to do, I think, is sell the players that are deemed as deadwood. We all know who they are. And then I think the last thing he needs to do is bring in somebody last minute that makes us go, wow. Now, I'm not saying that it's been a bad window, right? And
it could be the last signing.
Could be. I still feel like we need that left wing sorted so that Eze can be that kind of player who comes in alongside that marquee. That's what I think. But some people say we don't need anyone else.
I don't think we need anybody else. So. I don't think we need anybody else. And I think Eze could play like, you know how Alexis Sanchez was playing basically inside the box as a winger and scoring majority of his goals inside the box? Eze could do a similar thing. He could be like, you know how Hazard was playing as a winger, but he's picking up the ball centrally and driving? I think that's what Eze is going to do from the left wing position. He's going to play for Arsenal as a left winger, but his role in the team will actually be a lot more central. And you're going to see Declan Rice going out wide, similar to how Xhaka was. You're going to see our defender going out wide. Tactically, I think Arteta is going to have this sorted for us. And where Eze plays doesn't worry me. I think where he's going to play on the pitch does not worry me.
Rodrygo, though.
I would love Rodrygo, but I don't think we're going to get both Eze and Rodrygo. I've always said I think it's one or the other. And now that Eze is going to be an Arsenal player, I think I think what's basically happened is instead of getting Rodrygo, we've basically gotten Madueke and Eze for the price of what we would have got Rodrygo for. That's what I think happened. Because Rodrygo would have cost double their wages, plus he would have cost a transfer fee of around maybe 90 million to 100 million euros. So it's not.
Would you play Eze ahead of Ødegaard?
This is the thing. I don't think Odegaard's coming out of the team. I think they're both playing together.
No, but would you? Arteta won't, but would you?
I'm not taking either of them out of the team. I think the best Arsenal has both Odegaard and Eze in the team.
Okay, so tell me your team then. Your best 11.
My best 11, Eze is part of the front 3. Odegaard's part of the midfield. And what's happening is Odegaard's going to be drifting more to the right. Eze is going to be drifting more to the left. And you're gonna have the left-hand side is going to be occupied with let me go from the goalkeeper. Actually, why don't I just show you guys a visual?
Yeah, show me.
1 second. Let me show you guys a visual. We're on the internet. We can do whatever we want. Let's go. Boom. First things first. Arsenal. This is the last team we played, right? The changes that are being made are very simple. Arsenal's best 11 has Timber in the team. I'm sorry, Ben White. Timber's in Arsenal's best 11. I think Calafiori, Miles Lewis-Skelly, still debatable who you guys want depending on the game.
Lewis-Skelly for me.
But at this moment in time, I think the best left back for Arsenal is still Miles Lewis-Skelly based off performances from back end of last season. And the starting left winger for me, now that he is signed, is Eberechi Eze. When in attack, Eze will be playing more central. You're gonna have Saka, who's gonna be more here. You're gonna have Odegaard there, and you're gonna have Rice there. It's gonna be more like that. It's gonna be a situation, or it's gonna be more like this when we're attacking. Depending on how we play, you're gonna have a situation where it's gonna be similar situation like this in attack. In defense, it's a whole different situation. I think when we're defending, you're gonna have Odegaard tracking back, you're gonna have Saka tracking back, and Eze and Gyökeres are gonna be the guys waiting to pounce. Tactically, it gives us a lot of flexibility. And you are worried about Eze playing out wide. Eze is not going to be playing similar to Saka, where Saka plays and gets the ball over here, and Odegaard is central over here. It's not going to happen. When Eze picks up the ball, the left-hand side is open. Nobody plays here for Arsenal. You're going to have a situation where either Miles or Rice are going to have to overlap, and Eze is going to be the... How did they switch? And Eze is going to have to be the guy who comes in more central, and he's going to score a majority of his goals and create a majority of his chances in this space on the pitch. That's where Eze is going to work. So yeah, let me just go back to the 3-4-3-3. I think it's going to be more like this, actually. I think it's going to be a situation where it's going to be more of a... I think it's going to be more of a 4-2-3-1.
3-1. Yeah, I agree. I think that's what we need to do.
And we're going to see both Zubamendi and Rice at times pushing forward. But in order to give everybody in the front four more space to work, you now have these guys being the players that can either overlap or stay back defensively. And it now gives the wingers more of a platform to go forward, because you now have two DMs that can stay back. And then if Miles goes forward, then Gabriel, Saliba, and Timber can cover.
Yeah,
and you have a solid base.
Now listen, that all makes sense to me. This makes sense to me. The 4-2-3-1 thing is a big thing. I'll get rid of that spammer in the chat, by the way, Egal. Amen, Omar, guys, just keeps putting loads of the same stuff, man. It's annoying the chat. This Amen, Omar guy.
Yeah, these guys do this all the time. They make new accounts every 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, so this here, yeah, obviously David Raya we all know about. Timber for me, agree, best right back. I think he's the best right back in the Premier League. Obviously Gabriel and Saliba for me, best partnership in Europe at the moment defensively. Individually, people might disagree, and I would face fair play, debatable. But for me as a partnership, I don't think there's any better. Then I think Lewis-Skelly will come back to in a minute. But Rice and Zubamendi, for me, absolutely have to play like this in a double pivot, because Rice going forward, I like him, but I don't like him staying forward in like a Gerard Lampard role. I just don't like that for me. He's a box-to-box engine. Zubamendi, I think, is brilliant on the ball, but definitely needs to come from deep and can be like, like Gilberto Silva and Vieira used to be two pistons of an engine. That's what I see with Rice and Zubamendi. Odegaard, I'll come back to in a minute. Eze and Saka. Saka, we all know about, don't need to mention. Gyökeres, I think he needs feeding, but I think he'll score goals. Let's talk about the left side, right? I've left the left-hand side till last for a reason. This left-hand side has been pitiful for the best part of 18 months to 24 months, if I'm honest. It's not been good enough. Lewis-Skelly's come in and done a very good job. Declan Rice has had good games and bad games in that position. And Martinelli and Trossard have both fallen off a bit of a cliff, right? So that's why everybody said...
Rice has actually been holding together the left-hand side.
I agree. And he's not been outstanding every single game, but he's certainly been the better of the options, right? Lewis-Skelly, I think, is great there, but I think he is definitely a midfielder, and I think he's better in that option.
Calafiori is better attacking-wise.
Okay. Calafiori, for me, I still have question marks about because he's hardly ever fit, but I need to see him more. Lewis-Skelly, I think, is the one I would keep there personally at the moment, right? Eze on the left, I like it. He will definitely bring the ball inside. He won't go beat the man. So I think what Mikel Arteta is doing now is he's looking at a couple of options. You've got Max Dowman, Ethan Nwaneri, and Saka all on the right-hand side that can play there. Madueke as well. They all cut in on their left foot, right? Every single one of them. With Madueke on the left and Eze on the left, you've got both options. Eze can cut inside. Martinelli can cut inside. Madueke can go on the overlap. So I think the Madueke signing, if it works or not, I don't know. But I think the reason he's brought in Madueke as cover now is because he gives a different option. Can play on both sides, but also can beat his man. He's like what's it Don calls him? 1v1 demon, right? Because he beats his one man. So I can see this now being a okay signing as a squad player. I wouldn't want Madueke as a starter, but certainly as a squad player. With Eze, the reason I like him in the middle more is because he gets a hell of a lot more involved for Palace. And I'm only going on Palace. I don't watch Palace every week. I'm only going on Palace fans like D, Rich, and Caden and guys like that in my chat. And they'll say, look, Eze can do a job on the left, 100%. But he ain't nowhere near as good there as he is centrally. So I think it'll be interesting to see if we see that and if we need to put him in centrally more. Because there might be games, where Eze can actually play and you bring off Zubamendi, allow Rice to be in that 6 and allow Eze and Ødegaard. If we're playing a Sunderland at home or maybe even a Brentford at home or something like that, we might go more with Rice in the 6 holding on his own and then Eze and Ødegaard push forward ahead. Ødegaard more in an 8 role, Eze more in a 10. So
but this is how they play at Palace, for example. This is how they play at Palace. They play more of like a Christmas tree type shape.
Yeah.
And if you really think about it, Eze's role at Palace is to occupy all of this space. So you need to understand Eze's role at Palace is a free role where he has the entire left-hand side as a canvas. At Arsenal, when he's asked to do this role, right? And let me just fix it so it looks more normal. When he's asked to do this role, Ødegaard naturally drifts to the left. So he will still be allowed to do majority of the why does this keep happening? Okay, so as Ozil drifts wherever he goes, Eze will also be allowed to do whatever he wants over here. He can go inside, he can go outside. You can have Declan Rice overlap, you can have Madueke overlap, but Ødegaard and Saka are still going to do majority of their work on the other side of the pitch. He's going to be working with He's going to be working with Gyökeres, Rice, and Madueke. When we see overloads, the players who tend to overload at Arsenal and tend to work together are Ødegaard and what do you call it, Saka. So now Eze has this whole side to still do what he does. He will be our left winger, but he will be playing as Alexis Sanchez was, having the freedom to do whatever he wants on this entire side of the pitch. Because nobody does anything on that side of the pitch. He's brought in to unlock the left side of the pitch. And when you look at what he was doing at Palace, when you look at Eze's sofa score, when you look at Eze's sofa score throughout his time at Crystal Palace and where he, not now, and where he, played and what he does for Palace, he is, yes, he's a 10, but he's also playing in that entire space of the pitch where we need our left winger to play.
That's fair.
This is not one season, Dan. This is every season.
Yep.
So the way Crystal Palace play their 10 is how we need our left wingers to play. Martinelli is incapable of making that pass. Martinelli is incapable of picking up the ball and driving and picking out passes. Trossard is capable of doing that, but Trossard doesn't have the pace and Trossard doesn't have the physicality anymore at his age to do it at a high level for the whole entire game. He can come off the bench and do it, but he gasses out at times. And neither one of them are consistent enough in the final third to finish off those chances. Neither one of them are consistent enough to cover enough ground needed to and also be effective enough at the same time. I think Eze being able to play that position at Palace for years, being in an underdog team where he has to do the defensive work and the attacking work and be the talisman, will give us much more tactical flexibility with him potentially even playing as a left 8 at times. If I'm what I'm about to show you is what we would do in a situation where we need to win a game. We're going against West Ham, Fulham, Brentford, whoever. These are the teams who we drop points against, right, Dan? Guess what?
Facts.
Guess what? Zubimendi comes out. Zubimendi does. Zubimendi doesn't need to play every game. Rice doesn't need to play every game. One of them can come out at times. It can be a situation where there's a certain game where you can bring in a natural winger and play Odegaard and Rice with Eze, and Rice can be the guy who sits. And now you're going up against a what do you call it? A Burnley at home, and you have two guys who can unlock the doors. You have three attackers that can help get the goals, and you still have the solid backline defense that you don't have to necessarily worry about. It's not always Zubimendi and Rice are going to play every game. It's not always Eze is going to be playing as a left winger every single game. It's not always that we're going to have.
I actually like that midfield. I know
It's not
Zubimendi's been
always.
signed.
It's not always that. It's not always that Rice is going to be on the left. There's going to be days where Zubimendi's going to be out of the team. There's going to be days Zubimendi's in the team. There's going to be days Rice is in the team. Rice is out of the team. There's going to be days Odegaard's in the team. Odegaard's out of the team. We no longer are going to be completely crippled if one of our main midfielders are out of the team, because we have options. And we have options in many areas. Saka's out, Madueke in. Gyökeres out. If Havertz is fit, Havertz. If Jesus is fit, Jesus. Eze is not playing in that position today. He's playing somewhere else. Guess what? You can play Martinelli. You can play Madueke. You can play Trossard. Guess what? We also still have, for the cup games, when we want to play some of the youngsters, you can play Ethan. Don't forget, Ethan's still going to get a lot of games.
Yeah, I hope so.
Ethan's still here. Bro, if I show you our cup team right now, people are going to be like, this team this team is solid. Our just strict backups, just all the backups that we have in our team. If I throw all the backups in there right now, and I'm saying if Kiwior is sold, Calafiori is probably going to be the backup midfielder, or the backup defender if we play two backups in the defense. The backup Norgard, you got Moreno who's in there. You're going to have Saka's backup is, of course, Madueke. Are we saying Havertz is fit? Or are we saying?
Well, I don't know the update, but apparently it's
okay. So at this moment in time, Havertz not fit. If we have to play a cup game tomorrow with a full 11 of backups, this would be our full 11 of backups at this moment in time. I'm not expecting us to see a full 11 of backups on a regular basis. But yeah, who's our backup?
If we had to, then if we had to, we had to.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think this team is much better than majority of the team lower down the table in the league.
Well, you know my next question, then, bro.
What?
You're not gonna like it.
What is
it? But the pressure's on to win.
I'll tell you something. I said this the other day, and I don't do this often. I don't swear to God often, but I basically said, I swear to God, if we don't win, I lose belief in this manager, because I believe this team is the best team in the league, Dan.
Okay.
I believe we have the best defense. I believe we have one of the best midfields, and I believe now we should have one of the best attacks. And if City are to beat us with an inferior defense, if Liverpool are to beat us with inferior squad depth, I'll be surprised. Because I now believe Arsenal have the tools to their disposal to finally say, for the first time since 2004, that we have the best team in the league. Even back then in 2004, I didn't think we had the best team. I think Chelsea and Manchester United were favorites to win the league in 2004, if I'm not mistaken. I remember recently looking back at it and them saying Chelsea were one of the favorites to win the league that year. Roman was doing all the spending, remember? And everyone was saying Chelsea were one of the favorites. Manchester United were the favorites. They just won it. And I'm like, okay. Since then, when could you ever say Arsenal have one of the best squads? Right now, you could say we're in the mix. But with Eze, I believe since Liverpool have yet to sign Isak or Guehi, and Man City have yet to go and get another keeper or yet to go and get a right back, I believe we have all the tools to our disposal.
You think if Isak signs that Liverpool got the stronger squad? If they sign Isak and Guehi?
If Isak and Guehi signs for Liverpool, then, and also Fofana as a left winger, because, bro, they need more than just Isak. I'm not going to, I don't want to bring up the unfortunate passing of Jota. That is not what I'm talking about here. I'm just strictly speaking about the other attackers that have left the club also. They have sold two attackers. They have sold two attackers. They've not replaced two attackers. They brought in a midfielder and one striker. They also are going to bring in Isak, who's another striker. I still believe they need one more. Plus, they're also going to be selling Harvey Elliott. This is strictly numbers. Liverpool do not have the same number of attacking options as they did last year. They will have better attacking options, but what's the likelihood of you saying they can go the whole season with Cody Gakpo, Isak, Ekitike, and Salah being their only attacking options?
I actually agree with you that at the moment Liverpool in attack looks short. It looks short to me. They can't sell everybody. Like there's rumours of Elliott going and Nunez and obviously what
I
happened
think
with
Arsenal are
Jota and
favourites.
Diaz. Say again.
I think Arsenal at this moment in time, in my opinion, are the favourites title has swung back to us. We haven't won the league, but based on what we've done this window, 7 players, 3 difference makers. At this moment in time, with Isak not on Liverpool's squad yet, we should be considered one of the favourites. And if we don't win it, we only have ourselves to blame, and we have to seriously consider a new manager at that point, because Arteta has all the tools to his disposal. He has all the ingredients to create a world-class dish.
Is he going to?
I believe he can, and I believe he will. But time will tell.
What? Do you think a trophy, or do you think Premier League, Champions League?
I believe we win the Premier League, and I believe we get far in the Champions League. And with this team, we should also be competitive in the cups. I don't know if we win a cup, but we should be competitive in the cups. As for in the league, Dan, I think we're going to be sitting here 6-7 points clear come the last couple of days of the season.
What?
I think we're going to win the league this year, and it won't be on. We will be winning the league before the final day of the season.
Bro, that's a bold claim, Egal.
I don't think it's that bold. It's been 3 years. Eventually, we have to break through the threshold. And I think Eze, with the creativity and the technical skill, Gyökeres being a finisher, a striker that can get us to goals, everything that we've been missing over the last couple of years, married together with now a counter-attacking style of football, we now have all the solutions. But hey, we didn't even speak about Kiwior. Did you want to speak about Kiwior yet before we move on?
Go for it.
But you wanted to challenge me on this. Do you not believe Arsenal are amongst one of the favourites already before we got Eze and Gyökeres?
I think we are. Are we favourites? I don't think we're favourites. I think that we are expected to be title challengers. I think that's fair.
Who are the favourites then?
Liverpool, because they're the current
holders. Why
holders.
are they the favourites?
Because they're the current holders. They've got a manager who knows how to do it, and they've got a squad that's extremely strong. That's probably arguably stronger than last year.
Okay. Is Arsenal's squad stronger than last year?
Yes, but it's not the squad that's a problem.
Does Arsenal have more squad depth than Liverpool?
Right now, yes.
Did Liverpool go and sign Isak or go and get their defensive depth yet?
No, so right now, I think that we've got a better squad than Liverpool, but I think that Liverpool...
If we have a better squad than them, are we not favourites?
Yes, but it's the manager that's the question mark.
Okay. I believe the manager is not an issue. And for me, if we just look strictly at the squads and the holes that we have compared to the holes that they have, we're better prepared for the season. And the season's we're in the season. It's the second game, and we're pretty much done all our business, where they still need to go and get Isak. They still need to go and agree a fee with Newcastle. They still need to go and get Gehi. They still need to go and agree a fee with Crystal Palace. At this moment in time, second week of the season, we have a leg up on Man City and Liverpool because we have majority of our issues resolved.
Okay, so let me ask you a quick question then, right? Forget Man City. Let's talk about Liverpool because I believe they're favourites, right? I think Manchester City have got a brilliant chance of winning the league and they looked excellent at the weekend, but there's still a long way to go and a lot of work. Let me just read these
super chats quickly.
Yeah, go on.
3-2-4-1 formation. Arsenal have 2 cams as a pivot of Rice and of course Nelly in big games. We can tweak with 29 as striker. Yeah, I've seen Man City do that. They kind of shift to a back three and use your left back part of the four up top. It can happen, but in my opinion, it's going to be a situation where on a game-to-game basis, we're going to play with so many different lineups. Arteta has once said he uses 52 different formations during a game.
That was just ridiculous, that one. But go on.
No, but it's true. Every time you shift, you kind of are using a different formation within the game.
It's just a weird way. It's just a weird way to say it, but yeah,
He is slightly
weird.
different.
He is weird. Yeah.
No, but he doesn't. He didn't. He grew up. He learned how to coach in England, but the way he speaks as if he grew up. He learned how to coach somewhere else.
Thing is, Arteta, we forget. To be fair to him, I suppose this is praise. He's learned a hell of a lot off of different people. So he's learned people might laugh, but he's learned off of David Moyes. He's learned off Arsene Wenger. He's learned off of Pep Guardiola, but he's learned off of
Johan Cruyff.
Yeah, he's learned off of the best in football, if you like, and also with PSG.
Who was his manager at PSG?
I don't know who his manager was, but he played with Ronaldinho and JJ Okocha, and he played with brilliant players. So he's seen a lot of styles. So that is fair. I just wish he would implement one at Arsenal and go with it, stick with it. Because you got to admit, he changes a lot, doesn't he? He doesn't stick with one thing. He changes a hell of a lot, and it's like confusing, and it hasn't won him anything yet. Like, if I said to you, what is Arteta's style? Nobody would be able to tell me, because it's, what do you want, the style from 2023 or the style from last season or the season before that, or the one we went 3 at back and won a trophy? Like, there's no, if I said to you now, Pep Guardiola, Arsene Wenger, Sir Alex Ferguson, Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, Diego Simeone, George Graham, you'd be able to tell me all of their styles of play. Even, let's do some crap managers, Sam Allardyce, Sean Dyche, David Moyes. Then you look at Arteta, no one knows what his style is. No one has a Scooby, because he's done a different one every year.
You know something? I think Arteta's style is quite clear. He's a flexible manager, but when he first came in, he had to play defensive football in order to get results. The first full season where he had what he had going, he played free-flowing attacking football, and he doesn't have a set style. He's similar to Pep, who transitions and changes how he plays on a consistent basis. I think Jose and the managers of the past used to have a set style of football. Managers now have to be a little bit more fluid depending on what they have to their disposal. And each year he played a little different. This year he's showing that he's willing to play quick on the counter. And you know what he's done? Let me go and show you something. He went and signed 3 players that had the fastest shots and played the most direct contributors to Premier League goals and key passes.
Eze and Madueke.
Eze, Madueke, and Bukayo Saka. You've seen Moneypenny's post, right?
No, go on.
Here it is. 3 out of the 5.
So make that bigger again. So we've got Saka, Eze, and Madueke. The other 2 are Cole Palmer and Salah. And what is this? Direct offensive contribution. So shots and key passes. I see that Eze's scored the most from outside the box, or one who scored the most from outside the box.
So per 100 touches, how many of them lead to a shot or a key pass?
Okay.
Bukayo Saka's 100 touches, almost all of them lead to a shot or a key pass. Mo Salah, same thing. Madueke, almost all of them lead to that.
Well, there's no reason then. No reason not to shoot, score, create, and get goals in this season. He's got everything he needs. Got everything he needs.
And you know how I know that's true? Because Madueke first touch when he came in versus Bilbao, he crossed the ball into the box from distance. I was like, I don't see our left wingers ever do that. He came in, had 100% pass accuracy, and he crossed the ball, and it was his first touch into the box, and landed perfectly.
How many of these led to a goal? Do we know?
All we know is how many of them led to a shot or a key pass.
Okay, I hope they can score then.
No, but look at that. You have Cole Palmer, Saka, and Mo Salah, who are 3 of the top GA getters in the league. Then you go down this list. Madueke wasn't the best, but he's up there. Eze, he had a solid double-double last season. Harvey Barnes, what when he plays, he's effective. Jared Bowen, one of the best. And I don't even know who this guy is. Who's this guy?
Rutter's the guy from he was at Leeds, now he's at Brighton.
All right, so yeah. And then look at these. All these guys are some of the top GA getters in the league. Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, Cunha, Semenyo. This is a good list of players to be involved in. It just says when you get the ball, you're thinking about one thing and one thing only, to either get a goal or create a pass.
Look, I am not really a stats guy. I know that you are, and I appreciate it. And, I know a lot of people that are stat. Don's one of them. James is one of them, and I know that you're into that. I would be interested to see how many of those shots led to a goal. That's what I'm interested in, because I could be the best in the league at shooting, but it's at taking shots, but they might all hit the corner flag. So I need them to be, this season putting them in the back of the net. I think what we're saying, Egal, right? There is a zero excuse not to be an exciting team to watch and not to be an attacking minded team this season. If I see Mikel Arteta with these signings, playing sideways and backwards possession-based football and flinging it into the box, I'm gonna want him out by Christmas, bro. So he needs to now show to me that he can actually get across the line and play nice, attractive football.
The game versus Leeds, you're gonna see a positive signs. Hopefully.
What do you think for that, by the way? Because I think we're gonna win 1-0 again.
No, I think we're gonna win 3-0. I think it's gonna be very attacking football. You're gonna be quite surprised how quick we play. You're gonna be surprised you're gonna see a little bit more fluidity from the attack on the counter. Gyökeres is definitely gonna get involved in goals in this game. This is a 3-0 win written all over it, in my opinion.
Is Gyökeres scoring?
Yeah. Gyökeres is getting off the mark.
I love your optimism, Egal.
And you know what people are gonna say? What do you expect? It's a relegation side. That's what they're going to say.
I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't care if we win 1-0 or 3-0. I need to win, but I want to win convincingly.
So your score prediction is 1-0?
Yeah, it is, yeah. I just feel weird. I just feel like Leeds are a side that might make it a bit difficult for us. I think
what did Joe say when you spoke to him about it?
I haven't spoken to him yet. I'm speaking to him later. But
was he confident about facing us?
No, of course. I mean, he's always confident because he's a Leeds fan, but I think he appreciates it's going to be a tough game. I don't think he expects to win the game.
Yeah, he's not deluded like some people.
No, he's not deluded. He might predict a draw, but I don't think I think he'll know that he's probably going to lose this one. But Joe's realistic. He's not looking at this guy. We better beat Arsenal. He's looking at this like, look, forget about Arsenal. Let's go to the next game, because he's already said he's got one win against Everton. He needs 9 more to stay up. He's only looking at 9 more wins.
Leeds in our club's history, 14 games, 2 draws, 12 losses. So what's the chances of them beating us now?
Oh, I don't think they'll win. I don't think they'll beat us. I think we'll win the game, but I just don't think it'll be like 3 or 4-0 like some.
I think Ellen Road, it will be a bigger test. But at the Emirates, first game of the season, fans being there, everyone ready to go, attacking talents we have.
I hope it's convincing, man. I just want to convince him win. I'd love it to be like even 2-0 instead of 1-0.
If Gyökeres gets a hat trick versus Leeds, somehow they're going to paint it as he only scores goals against relegation.
Facts. But I don't care about that. I just want to win the game, man. I do. I just want to win the game because look.
One second about Gyökeres though.
Yeah,
if Gyökeres only scores against the bottom half of the table,
I don't care.
And we win those games, he's done his job.
I don't care who he scores against. I want to see him scoring goals. If he gets 25 goals this season in the Premier League, but they were only against all the bottom half clubs, I couldn't give a toss.
And you know why? Because those were the games where we struggled.
Exactly. Like against the big six, we don't need him to score. It'd be nice if he did.
Because we're undefeated against them.
We don't lose against them. We lose against bloody Bournemouths and Brentfords and Brightons and people like that. And Everton's we can't beat. Fulham's, yeah. So we need to get those teams. And I swear to God, if we lose to West Ham again at the Emirates this season, I'm gonna be losing my mind because we cannot go 3 years losing to them. Let me tell you
Let's go to this before we wrap up. It's good. We kind of touched on everything. Eze's going to play tonight. How do you feel about that? Some people are like, why did we allow that?
Caden in the chat, who's a Palace fan, has said that he might not be playing now. So it'd be interesting.
No, apparently he's going to play in the final game.
Okay, that'd be interesting. I think he will get a good send-off. I've got to be honest. Because
is it at their ground?
Yes. It'll be the last time he plays at Sellers Park. So it'd be nice if he does play. And I said this last night. I think it's quality professionalism from him because if you look at what he's doing in comparison to what Visa and Isak and even Gyökeres, to be fair, to a certain extent, did, they all just effed their clubs off, walked off, said, screw you, I'm done. They all want to leave. They're not having any send-off. With Eze, he basically walked off at Stamford Bridge and got like an applaud. And I think he'll do the same tonight. I don't think people will boo him. I think people appreciate it's a good move for him. D, who's a big Palace fan, said to me, I think it would be a great move if he goes to Arsenal. I don't think he wants him to.
He didn't want him to
But
join Spurs.
of
Let's
course
be
he didn't
honest.
want him to. He didn't want him to join anyone. He wants this to keep him, right? He loves him. But it is a good move for him. It's a great move for him.
But the better choice is obviously Arsenal.
Of course. I think he didn't. I don't think he wanted him to come to Arsenal. I don't think that. I don't think he wanted him to go to Spurs. But I think he appreciates deep down there.
I spoke to Oli. He always said him leaving Palace for Spurs doesn't make sense. It's not really a big step up.
No.
He's like he views it as a step up, but not to the level that he wants. Him going to Arsenal makes the most sense because he's going back to his boyhood club, and he's also going to a place where he can come in and not necessarily have all the pressure, but at the same time be able to make all the difference.
I think anybody who goes to Spurs, it's their own funeral. Let's be real. The ones that have been brilliant at Spurs have ended up winning nothing and leaving, like Bale, Modric, Kane. Son, to be fair to him, is the only one that stayed there and won something. All the others have just either failed or gone. So if he goes there, it's a funeral for them, man.
Hey, it looks like Kiwior. There's a couple conversations going on. So Porto wanted Kiwior on loan with an obligation to buy. They want Arsenal to take 7 million up front and 20 million later. Arsenal basically are saying no to that, and Palace are viewing Kiwior as a legitimate option in replace of Guehi. So the Palace offer, we don't know what it is, but if Crystal Palace sell Mark Guehi, they will move for Kiwior, and because it's a Premier League club, we're expecting minimum 30 to 25 million.
Look, I think Kiwior being sold is rather stupid if we haven't got somebody lined up, because you can't get rid of Tomiyasu and Kiwior and only bring in Mosquera. So for me, I think what you've got to do is keep hold of Kiwior, unless a crazy bid comes in like 40 million or something.
Do you know what the take is? The take is Zinchenko's the backup left back, and Calafiori is going to be rotating between backup left center back, backup left back, and Mosquera can be rotating between backup center back, backup left center back.
That's weakened us then, because Zinchenko is useless at left back. So for me, Lewis Kelly and Calafiori are the ones, and I think Gabriel and Kiwior. The only thing I would say that could happen is you could have Lewis Kelly and Calafiori at left back, and Calafiori can cover at left centre back for Gabriel as well. But he's so injury prone, Calafiori, that you'd be weakening yourself.
So
I'd keep Kiwior unless we're bringing somebody in. Say we sell Kiwior for 40 M's and we go and sign a young up and coming centre half.
What if the player wants to leave and he doesn't no longer want to?
Then you have to leave. You'll have to leave him, and you'll have to find a replacement.
What if Mosquera is already the replacement?
Then you have to go and get somebody to cover for Saliba when he's out.
Okay. Mosquera obviously can't cover both positions in the case of an injury. So you'd also have Calafiori who could cover. But then in the left back situation, if Lewis Kelly gets injured,
we need a left back.
You still have Zinchenko.
What we could do, if you wanted to sell,
Zinchenko's still part of the team. Zinchenko doesn't seem like he's going anywhere, so he would be considered part of the squad.
We need to sell Zinchenko if we can't. The reason we can't is because 150k a week, no one's paying him that, so we're stuck with him, right? But what you could do, if you need to sell Kiwior because he wants to go and it's good money, you go and buy a left back.
No, but how about this? Calafiori, we watched him that last game of the season versus Newcastle at centre back. He looked good.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So go and buy a left back then and use Calafiori as backup.
No, but why do you always have to go buy somebody? What about the fact that we spend so much money? They might want to just get some sales and get some money in.
Yeah, but if you take 40 million for Kiwior, you want to go and buy a centre back or a left back with it, right?
If we get 40 million for Kiwior, that's a club record, bro.
Okay, so 30 then, whatever it is. I'm just saying we need. For me, I wouldn't be accepting anything below 30. That's for sure.
Especially
Quansah went for 35 to Leverkusen, and Kiwior was playing against PSG and Real Madrid.
The reason why he went for so cheap is because, bro, the man is getting paid less than I get a month, a week.
My point is, okay, look, so let me do this. So Ben White and Timber, right back, calm. Saliba and Mosquera, cool. Gabriel and Kiwior, cool. Lewis Kelly and Calafiori, cool. You're saying Kiwior goes, let's say, and we have Calafiori at left-sided centre-back and use Zinchenko to cover for Lewis Kelly. That ain't strong enough at left-back, bro.
Kwanzaa reportedly his salary at Liverpool was 1.5 million a year.
But I mean, my point is we need either a left-sided centre-back if Kiwior goes cover or a left-back, one of them. We can't do nothing or keep Zinchenko there, who's really an 8 left midfielder. Like, let's be real. He is not good at left-back. All you got to do is a diagonal pass and you're in. You're through. He's a clown at left-back. Awful, in fact. So I think you've got to do one or two things. You've got to bring in a young left-sided centre-back or a right-sided centre-back and play Mosquera there, or you bring in a left-back, bro. That's what
I'm tripping. Man was making 30K a week. That's not true. No chance he was making 30K a week. Dan, these guys, Liverpool, they I don't know how their wages are so low and they win league titles and Champions Leagues. Like, their wages are so low.
Man, they're brilliant at wages. They're brilliant at selling. They're better than us at selling. They're better than us at putting them on wages. We put players on ridiculous wages, bro.
Yeah, it's not even a joke. Oh shit, Eze will not play.
There you go.
For Crystal Palace tonight's Conference League clash. Why?
I think I guess he doesn't want to.
Okay. Now
Jeremy Frimpong's injured, by the way.
Palace fans would have liked, but the way football is now, it is always a big risk. So it's a big risk. You're potentially risking 68 million in transfer fee. Him getting injured. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You're right. Lewis Hall's on 8K. Yeah, you know what? We'll see. Guys, tell Zinchenko. Zinchenko doesn't seem like he's going anywhere. Arteta said he likes him. He wants to keep him part of the squad. You seen that, right?
I don't want him staying, but if he has to stay, he has to stay, innit?
All right, let's go quick fire through some of the news before we go, because we're going to just wrap it up here. Check out this account, guys. This is a good account. They always post all the news. It's a new account, just recently made like a couple years ago, and they've already got a good, decent following. This one was bullshit, in my opinion. Morgan Rogers. I think this was bullshit. No contact.
I'd take him, but
yeah, no contact with the signing of what? Okay. Not connected to the signing of Eberechi Eze. Arsenal weighed up a move for Morgan Rogers. I disagree. Surely they have to be connected. Eberechi Eze will not feature in Crystal Palace's. Okay, fair. What else is there? You got this one here. Arsenal and Bayern Munich have Malick Fofana on the short list on the final days. Bro, imagine if we get some sales, we sell Kiwior, and we get this guy, plus we sell Martinelli.
Oh, I don't know the likelihood of another signing coming in, but it would be amazing if we could. I know this Malick Fofana is supposed to be a baller. Rodrygo's the dream. I don't know. I feel like Kiwior leaving is a bit of a strange one because I feel like we're set in defense now. But if he has to go, fair play. I think it would be silly if we didn't spend the money we get from Kiwior, unless we don't have any. And he's making up the Eze deal or something. I don't know. And Rodgers, I'd take tomorrow. I think he's an absolute baller. I think he's unbelievably good, Morgan Rogers.
I think you're going to have to finally change your policy of rating windows below 10 if we get one more.
Depends who it is. Thing is, I can't give a 10 unless it's like Isak, Wirtz, Rodrygo, Zubimendi, Gyökeres. That's like a 10. For me, like this would be if we get the player sales that we want, like the Deadwood gone, yeah, and we bring in Rodrygo, I'll be happy to give it an 8.59. Happy. But 10s, nah, I ain't giving 10s, man. Right, 10s is like, wow, perfection. Like 9 is the highest I'd go, man.
Every tweet is about Eze. It's literally Eze. Lookman. I never really wanted Lookman. I'm not going to lie.
I like Lookman. I do like Lookman.
I never wanted him. Eze is better than Lookman.
Yeah, I like Lookman as a left winger, as an out-and-out left winger. I do like him. So
I never thought Semenyo was going to go anywhere, and Rafael Leao was never going to happen either. some of these things were BS.
Yeah,
But yeah, we're gonna.
Leao. I don't see us getting Leao. I don't see us getting Lookman. I don't actually think we will go for Semenyo. And I don't think we're going to get another striker. So I think if we get anybody, it'll be Rodrygo. And if we don't get Rodrygo, I don't think we'll get anybody.
Hey, finally, before we talk about anything else, we're gonna wrap it up here. What is the prediction for the end? What is your prediction for the end of the window, and what do you rate the window at this point? Because right now, I rate the window as a 9. The only thing that can make it better, sell some players and bring in one more shock transfer, is a 10.
So I'm not going to go as high as you. I'm happy to give it a 7, 7.5. If we get in Rodrygo, I think that takes it to an 8.5, 9.
What did you give the window last year?
4.
Yeah, you have high standards. I forgot.
The 4, the last window, what was Sterling and Marino and Calafiori? Yeah, that was 4, man. It was horrific.
No, what about the window before that when we got Rice?
Rice. 6, 6.5.
So if you give them a 6.5, how is this a 7? We've got 8 players. No, 7. How many? 7 players.
Because it's not always about how many you get. It's about how you've strengthened in each position. And I'm still not sure that some of them yet are massive upgrades. I do believe Gyökeres is. I do believe Eze is. I'm not sure that others are all wows yet. I need to see them. Madueke might be unbelievable. Zubimendi might be like next level Tony Kroos. Mosquera might be the next Saliba. Kepa might surprise me and go, wow, he's better than Raya. No idea. If that happens, I'll give it the 8, 9s, 10s you want me to. But at the moment, I think we've got to judge it a little bit later. But in terms of players coming in, I'm very happy because we've got the squad now. We've got the depth.
Hey,
the problem is, Egal, it puts a serious amount of pressure on young Mikel Arteta, mate.
This has been a great show. We've discussed the Eberechi Eze deal. We've discussed how we're going to play with Eze. We've discussed how Arsenal are the favorites. And we've even had a little bit of a preview to the weekend's games, plus spoken about some more transfers. And now we're ending it off with rating the window. Dan, I appreciate it. I only asked for half an hour. You gave me a full hour. I appreciate your time every single time.
Come on, bro.
And hopefully everyone in the chat enjoyed this video. And yeah, please do like the video, guys, because I've not been asking you guys to like the video, but I can see we have over 100 likes. It would be lovely if you could have over 200 likes.
Come on, people. Like the stream, man. I'm going live in 20 minutes on mine, so come show some love.
Send me the link so I can redirect to you.
Oh, okay. Let me do that now. Yeah.
Because all I see is the one where it's at 5:30.
5:30? No.
5:30 p.m.
That's the only one that's up. Oh,
that's on Joe's channel.
Yeah, no, that's not that one. That's not that one. I'll send you the link, bro. I'll send you the link now in the private chat and you can do it. But yeah, I'm going live at 4. It's going to be lit as well. I've got Sava and George on. We've got Wolfie, we've got Gunali, got me, got Hooks. It's gonna go off, mate. That's for sure. It's gonna be one of those.
I can't wait for Deji and these guys.
Yeah, man. It's gonna. Deji is.
What is that? Is that on Sunday?
That'll be Sunday at 9:30, bro. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, Deji and those guys. They always go off. That is always the funniest show.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. Deji and Don, just what they're like, and Lawless as well.
That. D and Deji, they're always going off too.
Yeah, anyways, yeah.
I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna send the redirect. You got about 15 minutes, guys, to unwind before that show. Get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a great one. We'll catch you on the next one. And also, don't forget, Arsenal have an inside man at Spurs. Remember? Vinay
Venkatesham.
That's how we got the deal done. Peace out, guys.